They won't understand you. It's your guy Brahma Guru, and in this video, I want to talk about how it is being an independent music producer and sound designer, fairly young in this game, versus being an older producer in the record industry of the music business. So let me tell you a story, right? So I know a few OG music producers, and I heard one of them say like, hey man, you shouldn't be posting all the time. You know, you shouldn't be emailing all the time. You shouldn't be doing this, that. You need to, factor in the element of surprise and do this, that, and the third, and not be seen all the time. People are going to get tired of seeing you. And I understand that element of it. Believe me, for a long time, I went without uploading anything. When I closed my last company, the Trauma Drums, I stopped uploading to YouTube entirely almost. And I would do videos sporadically here and there, and I just completely stopped. And it wasn't until this year where I decided to be like, you know what? I'm going to actually do a 90-day challenge, which this is video 88 of the 90-day challenge. So I'm almost there, a few days left, just to get back into the flow, right? Just to start recording content again and giving value again on this level. Because as a producer, naturally I'm recluse anyway. I'm very, to myself and my own tribe of people. I like the vibe in my own space. So introverted more than extroverted. I can be extroverted when I want to. I can turn that button on, but naturally I'm more on the introverted side. You may be the same. So this older producer, I understand where you're coming from. And in that record business type of industry, I understand how that works. You got, especially when it comes to artists and producers, Dr. Dre, you don't see him. And then when he drops, you see him everywhere for a little bit. Then he goes back into chilling, right? Same thing with like producer artists like Eminem or Kanye, even Kendrick Lamar as a rapper. He drops, explodes on the scene for a minute, then he goes back into his own space. And I'm like that in ways too. But I have a mission right now. And my mission is to help as many independent music producers as possible. And I know that some OGs in the game don't understand that level of it, because where they come from, it was more about having your secrets and keeping your secrets to yourself. And a lot of gatekeeping happens like that too. Some are gatekeeping and don't even know they're gatekeeping. They feel like they are guarding the craft. But you're not doing any justice by guarding the craft and not showing some of your tricks of the trade, because other music producers that are coming up need that hand, that ladder. And I know a lot of OG music producers, they were in the record industry, and now the record industry is becoming a dinosaur type thing. It's dying. The way that it used to be is dying. There's no more crazy record sales. It's all streams. So the money isn't the same. You heard Scarface talking about how Dr. Dre used to get paid $250,000 a track. Now you got producers selling tracks for like $200, $300. That is very true. But that shows you that the game is changing. And if you don't adapt, you'll get left behind. That's why you see a lot of older music producers now selling their own drum kits. I gotta say this because it's true. I was the first music producer with my own drum kit brand. This goes back to Trauma Drums before you've seen any of these other major music producers that got these plaques and status. They weren't selling their own drum kits like that. I opened the door for that. There were other producers that had companies that, they were behind their own brands of drum kits. There was Modern Beats, there was bangingbeats.com, but no one came out like, yo, this is Trauma. I have my Trauma Drums, right? And I changed my name to Brahma since then. I got a whole video talking about that. And I'm going to actually do another video where I go in deep dive into detail specific events that brought about that transition and evolution. But getting back on track, they understand that it is a dying industry. The record industry, it's not about record sales the same way anymore. And that's why they're selling their own drum kits or services. You see them popping up on YouTube all of a sudden, or on IG doing content, because I understand we're in the age of content creation, because we're in the information age where information needs to be exchanged. Information is the most valuable form of currency outside of your attention. They're starting to understand this. I knew this when I started my drum company. Some of it I didn't know. Some of it I'm just becoming to know now and really exercising it. But I knew that everything was going to be online back then. That was 15 years ago. So I'm not saying this to toot my own horn and say, oh, I'm advanced. It's nothing like that. I'm saying that to say that, like, when this OG music producer told me this, I had to take it with a grain of salt. Because to me, it's like, yo, I understand what you're saying, but we're in a whole different time period. And I understand that if people get tired of seeing me, they're not for me then. Those aren't the ones that I'm aiming towards. Those aren't the ones I'm supposed to be exchanging value with. You're not part of my tribe. There's probably haters watching this video right now that don't funk with anything I'm saying or anything that I do, but you're giving me your attention, which is weird. You should take your attention to something that you support and that you value, that you actually are stand behind. But if you don't stand behind what I'm saying, I don't want you to watch what I'm saying. I want the people who really rock with me, who take what I'm saying as great advice, or they find the gold in it. Those are the people I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the people who feel like they can get tired of me, because most of the time, especially if it's another producer, it's probably some haterade in there. There's something that I'm doing that you don't like, or there's something probably about yourself that you see in me that you don't like. So it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. We're all a reflection of one another. So I'm saying all that to say that if you're a music producer, don't be scared to put your stuff out there. You're going to have people that don't like it, people that don't rock with it, people that feel the need to put a negative comment on it, people that hate it. And then you're going to have people that are very opinionated, and they might rock with you, but they might have some opinions that you don't agree with. That's okay. That don't mean that y'all can't funk with each other. You can agree to disagree. And then you're gonna have those people that hold on to every word you say and take it as advice to help them progress in their careers. Those are the people I'm looking for, and I believe that those are the people you should be looking for too. If you got people that are following you that are getting tired of seeing you, all they got to do is unfollow you. Or block you so they don't see you no more. And those are the people that aren't for you anyway. It's funny how this works, because once you start putting content out, you're going to filter out everyone that don't rock with you anyway. They're just hanging around to see what you're doing next. Well, what's his next move? What's he doing? Right? They're not really rocking with you like that. But the people that are really rocking with you, they already know, like, yo, okay, he's about to drop some dope stuff. He got some new plug-in. He got some game he's trying to drop. There's some wisdom on mixing, some music production tips that he's going to give me that I could utilize, because that's what it's really about. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is take outward advice with a grain of salt. Even my advice, I want you to study what I'm saying. I'm not saying take my word at face value. I'm saying that, okay, yeah, filter it through. Ask questions. That's what you're supposed to do, man. And shout outs to all my OG music producers out there who are giving game. And shout outs to the producers in my generation and the producers younger than me that are in the next generation. I think that we need to all band together and figure out a way to move in unison. But hey, that's just my way of looking at it. You got producers out here kind of hating on each other and doing all this beef and stuff, and it don't make sense to me. To me, what makes sense is saying, okay, there's enough for us to all give our value to the marketplace. And there's enough for us all. If you're in this marketplace and you're selling something, you're exchanging your value for monetary value back, there's enough room for us all to eat. There's not, and some of them are arguing over platforms like, Instagram, YouTube, and we don't own none of these platforms, bro. The most thing that you could do is own your own data. And once you own your own data, that's you build a relationship with that customer, that fan, or that follower. It's up to you to do that, but it's not my business how you do it. You can come to me advice and I'll give it to you, but like I said, man, I'm not trying to go on a whole rant. It was just because of that piece of advice didn't really resonate with me And I had to sit and think about it like, hey, you know what? I understand what they're saying, but we're in a day and age of where you have to be top of mind. And how you go about doing that is your business. How I go about doing it is my business. But we're in the age of all these distractions happening. And if I want my message to get through to the person who I'm trying to reach, I'm going to do what I need to do that. And that's why I did this 90-day challenge. Like I said, this is video 88. So there's 2 more videos that I have to go. And that's going to be the end of the 90-day challenge. Will I keep uploading to YouTube? Yes. Will I do it every day? Who knows? I'm going to let the market decide that. I'm going to let my people, my tribe decide that. Yo, you guys want more material from Brahma? Let me know. Leave some love in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this video. I just wanted to speak on this. And also like, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. That will help us build this tribe, because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we can't do this on our own. Also, check out the Ape Army. I'm leaving a link to it in the description. It's my private music producer community where we're all banding together to support one another. I'm also teaching courses, giving out plugins, and doing group coaching calls every once in a while, and some beat listening sessions as well too happen within this community. Check it out. I left the link so you could check out more about it. Also, if you want to funk up your sound a little bit, you know, add a little more West Coast spice to it, check out this West Coast Talkbox plugin right here, where I show you a banging West Coast beat I did with it and how I made the Talkbox plugin sound like Roger Troutman was in the room with me. Shout outs to the legend, RIP. Check out this video though.